Hey everyone, it's Siren and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, I am finally back. I'm finally back with some new content, a new video. I've been a little MIA and in my own little turtle shell for the last couple months, and I'm going to explain what was going on a little bit within today's video. I'm going to be talking about staying in alignment spiritually, staying in alignment with the universe, and staying in alignment with you and your own soul. So yeah, I'm going to be explaining what that means, like what does it mean to be in alignment, what it looks like when you're in alignment, what it looks like when you're not in alignment, and how to get yourself back in alignment if you fell off the wagon a little bit. Okay. And before I forget, if you are a witchy human being like myself and you are interested in hearing more magical insight about manifestation and all things spirituality, please hit that subscribe button and that bell button so you will be notified when I post brand new videos. Thanks. All right, so I got my water, I got my soothsayer oil that I'm gonna dab on me and get ready to receive some divine wisdom from my guides and my guardian angels. So I did do notes for this video. I took my own notes, and but first, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about where I've been and what I've been going through and why it pertains to this video that I'm doing today. So, for like the last couple months, it's been I think like 2-3 months since I've posted a YouTube video, and just like I think all of us, we've all been really going through it this year. It's been a fucking crazy, hard year, you know? And so I knew other people are going through it, and that's why I wanted to make a video about this and just share and hopefully, you know, help somebody out there that is just feeling lost and feeling out of alignment spiritually. So that's where I was for a while, and I think just within the past couple weeks I've just been starting to feel better. But about 2-3 months ago, I really just started feeling very burnt out spirituality wise and astrology wise, and just like I feel like, you know, I've been doing this doing my spiritual journey heavy for the last like 6 years. So every day for the last 6 years I've been watching videos and taking in knowledge and constantly soaking in knowledge. And so at first I was like, okay, well, you know, that's understandable, like I've been doing this for a long time, like I just need a break. So that's what I did. I took a break from watching like YouTube videos and astrology videos. And then I got to the point that I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm at a point in my life where it's my time to start sharing my own wisdom and my own knowledge furthermore on my platforms. And that's when I decided to do a YouTube channel, which I am still super excited about because it's still really new. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm going to share my knowledge, which I still am going to do, and I'm super excited about doing. But it kind of just further wore me out energetically. I felt very just burnt out energetically, burnt out on spirituality, burnt out in astrology. And so I just had to take a break. I had to listen to myself, and, you know, I beat myself up a lot of it for a while, and I'm going to share later on why that is not a good idea and why you should not do that, and why you should have compassion and love for yourself no matter what stage of your journey or your awakening you're in. And I want to share that. So yeah, that's where I've kind of been, and within all of that, what it is, you know, I fell out of alignment with my path and my journey, and I was kind of I felt like I was just floating there, and I didn't really know what made sense anymore. I didn't really know what way I wanted to go, and I was just at a point where I had to just be, and I had to just enjoy the moment I was in. And you know, I eventually, thankfully, I have found my way back to my path and to the love that I have for spirituality and I'm back in alignment and back connected with my guides, and it just feels so good. So I want to share with you guys about what is alignment, what it looks like when you are in alignment, I said this at the beginning, but what it looks like when you're not in alignment, and how to get back in alignment. Okay, so essentially, being in alignment is great for when you want to manifest, when you're in alignment with your thoughts and your goals, and your mind's right, and your energy is in alignment with the things that you want, whether it's money, whether it's love, no matter what it is. When you are in alignment, that's when you manifest. Okay, that's when you have an easy time manifesting. When you are out of alignment, you have a harder time bringing things to life and bringing things to fruition. And I think that is very important. Okay, so during my journey, I have watched a lot of videos about alignment, and a lot of it was for the fact of manifesting, which is great and it's true. But I wanted to take it a step further, because I think that being in alignment is so much more important, not just for the sake of manifesting. It's important for being you and feeling good within your body and within your soul and within your life. Okay, so for me, being in alignment goes so much further than manifesting money or manifesting love. It's being in alignment is a part of my purpose. It's a part of it. It furthers you along your path to get you to your purpose. So yeah, that I want to go into that. And I love the fact that being in alignment is great for manifesting, of course, but I think, like I said, it goes so much deeper than that. It goes to the root of who you are, and being in alignment with your guides and your ancestors, and it feels good when you're in alignment. So let me get into that. So I'm going to look at my notes. When you are in alignment, life feels good. And now, life does not always feel good 100% of the time, but the majority of the time, when you are living your life in alignment and you're aligned within your soul and within the universe, life feels good. You could have moments of just euphoria where you're just so happy that you're here and you're at this point and you made it through so much in your life. Okay, living in alignment is when you are trusting the universe, but it's also when you are trusting in your own intuition. Because you have this clear connection between you and the universe and the spirit world, and you feel and and you trust it. When you are in alignment, you feel good, you feel happy, you feel excited. If you're into yoga or meditation or just getting out in nature every day, those are things that you're going to wake up to and you are going to look forward to. You're going to be excited about life most of the time. You're going to just feel good, and you're going to know, and you're going to have that feeling within your soul that you are on the right track, that you are doing the right things, that you're feeling good, you're happy, you're going to attract like-minded people to you. When you are in alignment, you'll notice that you manifest quickly. You could think of something, and then 10 minutes later it comes to fruition. Or you think of somebody and you go to the store and you happen to just run into this person that you haven't seen in months. Okay, so this could also mean that you are getting clear information, clear wisdom, clear guidance from your guides, your ancestors, your guardian angels, that they could be sending you messages within repeating numbers and synchronicities and feathers. And I have a really cool little story that while I was writing these notes, okay, it took me a little bit to get back into the groove of making videos and writing notes, and there was points where it was a little bit frustrating, and then I was laying on my bed writing notes, and I picked up my phone, and between my hand and my phone, a white feather fell out right into my lap, and I was like, okay, that's a sign. That's definitely a sign. I'm on the right track. My angels are near. And within that, I went to pick up my phone to look at the time, and it was 143. So anybody who knows me knows that is one of my angel numbers, because it reminds 143. It reminds me in high school when you would write notes, or middle school, and you would write 143, and it meant I love you. So I just have always loved that number, and I still to this day, every time I see it, I just feel like that's my guides and my ancestors just telling me that they love me. And literally while I was writing these notes, I received a white feather and a synchronicity. So I was like, okay, that's a sign that I'm in the right direction. I have to do these notes. I have to do this video. Like, somebody needs this video. So yeah, I wanted to share that. Like, those are moments when you're like, oh, okay, like I'm in alignment. And that felt really good, you know, especially for me when I have previously been I felt like I was out of alignment for a while there. So that felt really good. And yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. But yeah, so living in alignment just feels good. You know, nothing always feels good 100% of the time, but the majority of the time you feel good. You're getting clear communication with your guides, with your ancestors, and your, you know, your spirit team. And one thing I do want to say is that even when you feel like your guides are not there, or you're not connected to your guides, they are always there. Okay, like they are always there, and they're always right next to you. And sometimes all it takes is you just to ask them. And I've said this in other videos too, but just to talk to them, even if you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, or you don't feel like, you know, you feel them, they are there. They've been there with you since the moment you were born. And you know, some of the greatest times that I've had, you know, breakthroughs is just literally asking them to just hold me and to guide me, and just crying to them. You know, and I always feel so refreshed, and I feel so much better, you know, even if at first I didn't feel that connected to them. Okay. So, and I'll get into other ways, you know, that you can contact and you can, you know, get back into alignment. But I just want to say that, like, even if you do feel that you are not connected, or you feel like you have so much distance between you and your guides, I promise you, they are there. When you are living in alignment, you just want to eat better. Like, you want to eat healthier because you know that's going to make you feel better, right? So you want to do things that are good for you. You might even like stop drinking alcohol, just eating better. Maybe not like a full vegan diet, but you incorporate more healthy foods that make you feel good, or more water. Pretty much being in alignment is just having total faith within the universe and within your own intuition and your own self that you are on the right path, that you are aligned, that you are manifesting the life that you want, that you are on the path to your purpose, and it feels good. So that's how you know if you are in alignment. And I do want to say that, you know, these feelings will come in. You might not have all of these ways of being aligned at one time. You know, some may come and go. These are just from my experience of what I have felt during living in alignment. So the lighting's changed a little bit. I have my window open, and it's literally lightning and dark clouds. It's really actually pretty cool. But yeah, so the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is signs that you are not in alignment, okay? Like signs that you know, are falling off your path, and you're getting disconnected from your guides and spirit and yourself, okay? So you will probably not have all of these that I list at one time. You might have some. I mean, these are just things that I've experienced through my whole entire journey, and some that I've just experienced recently, okay? So the first sign that I've written down that you are not living in alignment is that you're feeling very unmotivated and uninspired. You know, the things that you have been into and loving and excited about, they just kind of become blah. You become bored. You become just not motivated or inspired by it anymore. And literally, like, I know for creatives and artists, and I'm sure all people, no matter what they're into, like when that happens, it can be really, really heartbreaking when like the things you love, you just all of a sudden don't know how you feel about them, or you still love them, you just don't have a lot of motivation to get up and paint today, or, you know, like for me to get up and you know, create or do even just like do like a full moon ritual or something, you know what I mean? So yeah, that is the first sign that I wrote down. And I'm going to talk about this later on, but I want to just say this right now too, is that when you feel like that, no matter what it is, no matter if it has to do with alignment or, depression or anything like that, like, it's important to always remember that, like, this is a phase, this is a stage. Like, just because you feel like this today doesn't mean, in a couple days you'll feel the same way. I mean, feelings come and go, and that is an important thing to remember, is that we have to learn to feel an emotion and to let it go, not feel it and become it, okay? So just have some compassion for yourself when you feel low and you feel uninspired and unmotivated. It's a sign that your spirit and your body is saying you need a break, and we all need breaks sometimes. So just love yourself enough to, take that break. Okay, so the next on the list is that you could really be worried, or just getting worried and stressed and having a lot of anxiety about things. This is a big sign that you're not living in alignment, because remember what I said about alignment, it's just trusting, and it's just knowing, that everything's going to work out and the universe is going to provide. So when you start feeling, that you are getting a lot of anxiety, or you're just worried, or, those are really key feelings to just sit back and be like, okay, like, something is off here. Something, I'm falling out of alignment, and I need to do this, or this to try to get myself back to, not so worried or stressed. Okay. The next is, this is kind of like what I talked about when I was explaining, what I've been going through, but it is burnout. Okay. So this is the first time I've really, really experienced major burnout. I mean, here and there I've had, burnout within jobs or like school or something like that. But this was the first time I was ever really burnout spirituality wise, and with astrology and even my business. Like, I love it all. I loved it all. But I just needed a break. And, when you, as a Capricorn, I do this a lot, and I'm sure a lot of other people do. But when you get excited about something and you want to learn something new, or you want to do something new, you just go. And then you exhaust yourself and you burn yourself out. And we have to learn to, balance and to take time to, take breaks once in a while, or we will burn out. So you it doesn't have to be about spirituality. I mean, I would say spirituality, alignment, it probably has to do with that, but it could be really any burnout of any of your passions. This kind of goes with the unmotivated and uninspired part, but you get burnout somewhere in your life, and it might be like almost every area of your life. Okay, so as I was writing these, I started to feel like a lot of depressed vibes, and that's okay, because I think that I think that it's okay to talk about, and it's okay to be depressed sometimes. Like, life is hard, and I think the reason why we get depressed is because we've always been taught that we have to be happy and upbeat and everything has to be going great, and that isn't how life works out. I mean, we go through things, and obviously if you are depressed, you should seek help and someone to talk to, and, but I don't ever want anyone to beat themselves up for being depressed, because, it is normal, and it's okay to be down. Like, we don't always have to, be in an up mood all the time and everything's great and happy. Like, that is toxic positivity. Okay. So, people get down, people have bad days, people get depressed, as long as you seek help when you need to, and that it's okay to seek help when you need to, definitely do that. But we all go through things, and I want my channel to be about the light and the dark of spirituality and of life. believe in just love, and I'm not a love and light witch. I am a light and I am a dark witch. You cannot have one without the other. So I want there to be a total, polarity within this channel for us to be able to talk about mental health and about, the sad times as well as the good times. When you are feeling out of alignment, you can also, just like I said, with being in alignment, you want to eat healthy, you want to feel healthy because it's going to make you feel good. When you are falling out of alignment, or you're just out of alignment, girl, you could be eating more, you could be binge eating, emotional eating, you could be drinking alcohol more, emotional eating, binge eating, just eating more unhealthy foods. A lot of times this happens is because it's, like I said, emotional eating, like you're trying to cover up something that you're going through. And that's a point where you have to sit down with yourself and you have to ask yourself, like, what's hurting you? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, what's changed? Did something, like, what happened for me to really be feeling this emotional pain? So this goes along with, you might be drinking more alcohol. So you get to the point where you are binge drinking, or you are like blacking out or something like that, when you're just your emotional drinking, let's say, like you're just trying to numb out a feeling or a pain, that's a sign that you are living life not in alignment. Okay, so, and this is a no judgment zone. Okay, I have my own things that I go through, and with eating, with drinking, and yeah, it's just important to realize when you are, falling out of alignment, to, try to work on yourself and get yourself back in alignment. So next one is feeling really disconnected from your guides, from your ancestors, and from your guardian angels. And like I said earlier, you're never disconnected from your guides. They are always there. They just might feel farther away sometimes than others. Okay, so like for me, this is what I went through for the last couple of months. I felt very closed off from spiritual guidance. I felt very closed off from my ancestors and my guides, and they have all been there. I was just in my mind a lot, and I think that we get like that sometimes, and we question things, and that's okay. We go through periods of time where some things just don't make sense, and you don't know why you're feeling the way you do. You just are. Okay, so with that being said, being disconnected from your guides and the universe, it's going to make it a harder time when you are not in alignment to manifest, to line things up with the universe, to call them in, whether you're wanting to call in money, or love, or whether you just want to do a spell or a ritual. You might feel very disconnected from the energy of it. Okay, so when I feel like that, I just know that it's not a time for me to be doing rituals or doing spells. For me, and I suggest anybody that I talk to, or give wisdom about this, is that there's a certain energy when you go into doing spell work or ritual work, and if you don't have your energy up, and that a certain type of energy towards it, for me, I just think that maybe save it for a different day, or, a different moon phase or something like that, and wait until your energy is up and it's high and it's strong. And that is when you are gonna, call in what you want and manifest what you need. So you can feel really disconnected from ritual work. You can feel disconnected from your guides. The reason why when we eat bad foods, we feel disconnected, is because we are what we eat. And when we eat low vibrational foods, we resonate at a lower frequency. And to be in alignment, it's important that you are vibing at a high frequency. You can just really be questioning everything, like whether it's what you've learned in your early years, whether it's what you've learned during your spiritual journey, or whether it's what you feel. You can literally be questioning it all and being like, I don't even know what's real or what's right or what's not a lie. And I think a lot of people are feeling that right now. I think a lot of people are realizing that a lot of the things that we've been taught our whole life were nothing but lies, and that can be really depressing, and it could just really you don't really know where to go from there. But it's important to remember that it's important to feel the feeling. Don't become it. Feel it and let it go. You know, I think it's important to question everything, honestly. So I don't ever, when people are like, well, how do I know if that's real? Or why should I believe in that? Like, I respect that so much, because I think everybody, should do their own research and everything. But, it's a downer when you've spent so much time believing in something, and then you just wake up one day or over, a few weeks, and you're like, is this even like, what am I doing here? What is this? So yeah, that is definitely a big part of just not being in alignment with your truth, with the universe, with your soul. Okay, next, this is kind of goes along with manifestation. The manifestation part is feeling blocked or stagnant in your life. I can attest to this. In your mind, you can feel that like I'm supposed to be so much further, or I should be so much further, but there's just something there that's blocking you, that's keeping you stuck. And, and you feel like, and that right there could be the hardest part, I think, of getting back into alignment, is because you don't feel ready. You don't feel that you can. So yeah, next I'm going to get into how to get back in alignment, but those were all ways that you would know whether you are out of alignment or starting to fall out of alignment. I'm sure there's many more ways you could tell, but these are just things that I've went through my personal experience. Like I said, you might be feeling some of those, a couple of those, or maybe even all of those. Okay, so next we are going to get into how to get back into alignment so you can manifest, so you can feel good, so you can feel happy again and get back on your right path. Okay, so let's get into how to start feeling better and feeling more in alignment and getting back on track and feeling good again. Okay, so I wrote a lot for this section, and it was just my own channeled wisdom. So I might just read them off and share them with you guys that way. But these are going to be ways that you can start getting back into alignment. And the first thing I don't know if it's a way or if it's a disclaimer or what, but one thing that I learned, I talked about in the beginning, is do not be so hard on yourself when you do fall out of alignment. I'm always pretty hard on myself as a Capricorn, and I think that's one of the things I was meant to learn through this situation, this phase that I was in, but also during this year, is to just not be so hard on yourself. I actually did a meditation a couple weeks ago, and it was a meditation to connect with your spirit guides, and that was literally the first thing that they told me. They honestly didn't even want to talk to me about anything else other than that I need to be more gentle with myself, and for my mind and my mental health. So that was my first sign that I was like, okay, I need to have more love and compassion for myself. Because when I first started feeling like this, I forced myself to sit down and was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you feeling like this? You've gone through so much, and you've grown so much, and you've learned so much. Like, you know what I mean? You have things to do. You have, wisdom to share. You have, this, and this. And I learned real quick that was not the right thing to do. And, what I learned is this feeling and falling out of alignment is normal. And it is literally a part of every single person's, spiritual journey. And whether they're going through a spiritual journey or not, I mean, sometimes you just lose yourself for a little bit, or, you don't feel good for a little bit, but then you get yourself back and you gain it back and you feel better than ever. And that's kind of where I am right now. Like, I feel great, I'm motivated, and I just needed that break. A lot of what came through during my meditations also this summer were to have fun. And that's really what I did. I hung out with my friends all the time, and I had fun, and me and my kids went and had so many adventures. And I think that my soul just needed that. Even when my mind was like, no, you need to be working, you need to be getting shit done. But my soul needed that. I needed that break. So what I'm trying to say is that if you are going through this, like, this is a sign that you need a break too, that your soul needs rest. Okay, so this is normal. Falling out of alignment is completely normal. And, it's something that when you force yourself to get back into alignment, or you force yourself to do anything, or if you force other people to do things, it's not natural and it's not flowing with the universe. And that right there is something that is absolutely not in alignment with the universe. So if you are going through a time where you feel off, you feel uninspired, you feel out of alignment, just have love for yourself. Listen to yourself. Your soul is trying to say that you need a break. So take that break. I'm going to talk a little bit about this later, but do things that, you used to love doing, or, things like if you like to cook or if you like to dance, find those things that, that still bring you some type of joy, that are just fun, and they boost up your energy and they make you feel better. Okay, so next I wrote down, which kind of goes with what I was just saying, but I wrote down to try not to force yourself on getting back into alignment. Okay, I would really encourage people to embrace this, because you know what I mean? Like, it's that break that your soul needs. So embrace this, this part of your journey. And I think when you do that, you get back to yourself faster. I think when you sit there and you try to force you to do something that your soul doesn't want to do, it takes you longer to really turn that back around and to get back on your path. Okay? So next, and I said that there's a reason for this season and this journey, and there's always a reason for everything. And, so many videos that I've watched about alignment, it's always, this whole huge list of how to basically fix yourself and to, feel better. And for me, that did not work, and it might work for some people, and that's awesome. But I think that my message that I'm meant to share is to enjoy the season that you're in, know that there's a reason for it, and just have love and compassion for yourself, and know that you will, and through that and learning, you are gonna come out of it stronger and full of so much more wisdom. So next, I think after you've sat in this feeling of just the break that you needed, I think it's a good idea to sit down with yourself and just write down how you feel. I think that this is a good thing to do for a few reasons, okay? I think that when you take out your feelings out of your mind and you put them on paper, I think that they're a lot easier to understand. I think that when you write things down, I know that when you write things down, it's a way of release, especially for those people who, don't have a lot of people to talk to. Writing things down is a great way to get things out of you and out of your mind and onto paper. And, it's a great release, but it's a way for you to understand what is going on and how you are feeling, okay? And it is something great to look back on, okay? So once you're through this stage and you're through this phase, it's great to go back and read that and see where you were and, what you've learned and how far you've come since then. Now, I wrote down a couple things that you can ask yourself. I mean, you could always ask yourself your own questions when you're writing things down and you're writing how you feel. But I think it's a good idea to ask yourself, is there something missing from your life? Is there something more you want out of life? Is there something that you feel like you need in your life? Or what do you think is, making you feel stagnant or like you're out of alignment? Could it be a breakup that you went through, or maybe an argument you had with a family member, or, maybe you've gained a few pounds and you just have been really, really hard on yourself. And, those things sound maybe small, but when you go through, trauma and you go through, hard things, it takes a toll on your life and, your mental health. And it could really spiral and turn into a whole falling out of alignment. So, is there something that you feel like is missing from your life? Is there, something else you want to be doing with your life? Where do you want to see yourself go and your path go? Those are all great ways just to sit down and just write them out. It isn't about, trying to be those things, trying to, make those things work. It's just really letting you know where your mind is focused. And, you never know, the things that you're missing or the things that, you want to aspire to be might be exactly where this stagnant, falling out of alignment stage is taking you. So the next, I think it's a great thing to write down is just to talk to the universe. And you don't even have to write this down. I mean, I would write it down so you have it and you could always look back on it. And, you can get these things out of your head, like I said. But talk to the universe. Write down and just tell the universe what is going on, what you're feeling, what you want. Ask them to guide you, ask them to protect you, ask them to just see you through and just to be there for you during this hard time. I feel like I maybe should have put this number one, but I think this is so important, is, like I said earlier, is even when you don't feel like your guides are around, they are there. And sometimes they just need you to ask for them to be closer or for them to guide you and lead you. So yeah, I think it's a great idea to, maybe when you're starting to feel like this, get a journal. Just start journaling every day and just journal about how you feel. Talk to your guides in your journal. Light a candle and just sit there and just express yourself and talk to your guides and your ancestors and your guardian angels. Like I kind of talked about earlier, I talked about, dancing or cooking or, those things that you used to do all the time before, you got wrapped up in, learning about planets and, zodiac signs and stuff like that. Or, before you got wrapped up in, full-time work or, before you became a mom, did you love to cook? Did you love to go hiking? Did you love to dance? Try to put yourself back in those happy memories. Try to find and remember those things that at one time made you really, really happy and excited. Don't force yourself, like I said, to, do your everyday routine. If you can, take a break from some things that you do every day, like, hey, take a social media break and, start going hiking or going on walks every day, or, cooking a new meal every day. Like, fall in love with new things or with old things. And I promise, that is going to be something that really uplifts you and brings you out of, feeling out of alignment and feeling stagnant. A great thing to do. If you are someone who listens to high vibrational frequencies on YouTube, that is a great thing to do. Anything that is going to just help when you're feeling low and you're feeling, like you're just going through something. Anything, even if you can just incorporate one new thing a day, try to just do something that, brings up your positivity levels and brings up your energy. It's also really important during a time like this to do your best to stay grounded. A lot of the time when we are, if we have anxiety or our emotions are heightened, it's easy for us to, be ungrounded. So stay grounded as much as you can. Plant your bare feet in the earth, hug a tree. Dance is a great way to ground yourself, sage yourself, cleanse yourself. Those are all great ways, to try to just keep you uplifted as much as possible. It's not so much about, for me, it's not so much about getting yourself back in alignment, but it's about self-care and, making sure that you're doing something every day to just try to uplift your spirits and to fall back up in love with life again and to fall back in love with the things that you used to be into. And that's where we find ourselves. When we're happy, when we're trying new things or we're going back to old things, that's where we find who we are again. And, you might find a whole new avenue of life by doing that. It's also a great idea to, during this time, this, this break, this spiritual break, being out of alignment, take notes, okay, about just how you're feeling. I kind of said this a little bit ago, but take notes about how you're feeling, but also what you're learning, okay? So, divine wisdom comes sometimes when you don't even realize it, but when you sit down and you start writing, things start to flow and you start to channel and you start, picking up and remembering things that happened earlier, and you're like, wow, that really was special. Let me write that down. Okay. I think journaling and writing is a beautiful thing. I literally have so many journals for almost every area of my life. And I love to go back, and I loved even like my hardest times and, the scariest times of my life, I journaled through and I wrote poems about, and it's really sometimes emotional, but it's really, it's a great way to remember how far you've come. And when you do that, it reminds you that no matter what point you are in your life, that you are going to get through this. Okay. And so that brings me into my next way to just start getting yourself back into alignment. And that is visiting your why, why you wanted to be on this spiritual journey to begin with. What was it? I guarantee you it's because you've known for a majority of your life that there's something different about you, and you're meant to do something great on this planet. Okay. So when we could and I'm sure some people have, different variations of that, but if you're watching my videos and on my channel, it's because you are a light being. You are a person that was sent here to change the world, and you have a purpose here. Okay. And so it's a good idea to remember that when you get down and you're like, God, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore, or I don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore. Just know that there is a reason you're here. And there's a reason why you're going through this phase in your life, this stage of your evolution. But just know that it's all going to be worth it, because it's going to further propel you into your journey and into your purpose. But revisiting your why is so important, and it just reminds you why you cannot give up. And my last tip for getting back in alignment is, if you're somebody that has somebody that you trust to talk to, or if you are somebody that has a spiritual advisor, this is a time in your life where you need to utilize good friends that you trust, or good family members that you trust, or spiritual advisors, and just talk to them and tell them how you're feeling. And I literally just saw a butterfly out my window, you guys. Oh, I just got chills. Okay, so that is such a beautiful spiritual sign, and that was so beautiful. So this, obviously, I think this tip is for somebody out there. And yeah, so if you have friends that you can trust, or family members that you can trust, that you can just talk to, and that you can just tell them how you're feeling, or like I said, if you have a spiritual advisor, or like a psychic or someone that you can go to, and you can just tell them, just be completely honest about how you feel, what you're going through. And sometimes, like, we just need to vent. Okay. Like, I know a lot of us are like, oh, we just don't want to bother people with our issues or anything, you know what I mean? But you know what? More than likely, you're the person that they come to, or people come to, about, their problems or things that they're going through. And it's okay for you to do the same, with people that you trust. So yeah, and if you do that, just be open to receiving wisdom from them, and receiving, ways that they as an outsider looking in, they can see different things that, hey, maybe you should try, or maybe you should start doing, and just be open to receive, their wisdom and their knowledge. Okay. So, overall, just try to be accepting of no matter what stage or phase or part you are in your spiritual evolution and your spiritual journey. I think that, it's all about learning. Like life itself is about, I believe it's about love, unconditional love, and it's about learning and lessons. And so, yeah, I mean, we just have to take every day, and we have to, you know, we're going to have bad days. We're going to have days where we literally punch holes in walls and we've had it. Okay. And that is okay. I mean, I would never say to punch holes in the walls, but you know what I mean? We have days where we're going to be angry. We have days where we're going to be sad. We have days where we're going to freaking feel ecstatic and excited and happy. But you know what? We would never know what ecstatic and happy felt like if we didn't have the bad days and the days where we felt like we wanted to give up. But just know that it's normal and that we will get through it together, and that you are strong, and that you have a beautiful reason why you are here at this point in time in humanity. And there's a reason why you're here, and your purpose is to, whatever way it's meant to, change the world. Okay? I love you guys. I hope you guys all love this video. I'm going to be putting out more videos. I'm planning on one video. I'm going to record videos on Sunday and post them by Monday or Tuesday. That is my plan. You know how life goes, but that is my plan. Okay, so if you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want to hear more about magic, manifestation, and spirituality, please hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it so much. I'm sending you guys all so much love. Let's be babes.